Real talk time. You didn't change your diet, you didn't change your activity, and yet somehow you've gained weight around your middle that showed up overnight like an uninvited house guest who's now just living there, rearranging your furniture and refusing to leave. Your doctor's giving you that look about your blood pressure, the one that says, we need to talk, without actually saying it. And you haven't had a full night's sleep since roughly the Obama administration. Welcome to being Gen X. Nobody handed us a manual for this stage, so let's make one right now, and I promise you it's not going to be a lecture. I'm Debbie, a holistic nutritionist for 15 years now, and what that means is that I look at the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. These three things, the weight, the blood pressure, the sleep, they feel like three separate problems showing up to ruin your 40s and 50s in a coordinated attack, but they're actually deeply tangled up with each other. Fix one and the other two usually lessen their grip a little too. So let's pull them apart one at a time. Here's what nobody tells you. The exact same eating and exercise that kept you a certain size in your 30s will straight up stop working in your 40s and 50s. And it's not because you got lazy or lost your discipline. It's because your hormones rearranged the furniture without asking your permission. First, estrogen and progesterone start doing their own things. Fat tends to redistribute towards the middle, whether you invited it there or not. Metabolism slows down a bit, and muscle mass naturally starts declining if you're not actively working to hang on to it. This is not a personality failing. This is biology being petty, and I want you to hear that clearly because so many women blame themselves for something that's happening at a cellular level completely outside their control. So what actually helps? Protein, and more than you probably think you're eating right now. And I mean that. Most of us were raised on the protein is for bodybuilders era of nutrition advice, and that advice is ancient history at this point. Muscle is what keeps your metabolism from packing its bags and leaving town, so you need enough protein to actually maintain that muscle. Think eggs, Greek yogurt, chicken, fish, lentils, cottage cheese at every single meal. Not those foods altogether, but protein at every single meal. Not just dinner like it's some special occasion food. Breakfast especially, most of us eat toast or cereal in the morning and call it a day, and that's exactly backwards from what your body needs right now. And strength training becomes genuinely non-negotiable at this stage. Not for vanity, not so you look a certain way in a bathing suit, but because it's the single best tool you have to keep your metabolism from staging a full retreat. It doesn't need to be intense. It doesn't need to involve a gym that you're intimidated to walk into, resistance bands in your living room, dumbbells you already own and have been using as a paperweight maybe, body weight exercises, whatever you'll actually do consistently, minimum twice a week, beats the perfect program that you'll do once and never touch again. And can we talk about blood pressure for a second? Because apparently this is basically a Gen X rite of passage now. You go in for something completely unrelated, a sprained ankle, a weird rash, whatever, and you leave a lecture about your numbers that you did not sign up for. It's like going in for an oil change and leaving with news about your transmission. The food connection here is bigger than most people realize. Sodium's the obvious villain everyone points to, but here's the thing. It's usually not the salt shaker sitting innocently on your table. It's the sneaky sodium hiding in bread, pasta sauce, deli meat, canned soup, literally anything that comes in a package with a barcode. You could throw out your salt shaker entirely and barely make a dent if the rest of your diet is coming out of boxes. The bigger opportunity, and the one that almost nobody talks about, is potassium, because most of us don't get nearly enough of it. And potassium directly helps balance out sodium's effect on your blood pressure. Bananas, potatoes with the skin on, spinach, beets, avocado, beans, genuinely boring, cheap, unglamorous foods that do more for your blood pressure long term than obsessively cutting salt ever will. Add in the omega-3s too, salmon, sardines, walnuts, ground flax on your morning oatmeal, because they keep your blood vessels relaxed instead of clenched up tight like you're stuck behind someone going 10 under the speed limit in the passing lane with their blinker on for the last 4 fucking kilometers. And sleep. I genuinely think this might be the most underrated piece of this entire puzzle, and the one we all just quietly accept as part of getting older instead of actually addressing it. Poor sleep raises your blood pressure. It messes directly with your hormones that regulate your hunger and fullness signals. And it makes you crave sugar and refined carbs like your life depends on it, because your exhausted brain is desperately hunting for the fastest possible energy source it can find. So the weight thing and the blood pressure thing we just talked about are both, at least partially, a sleep thing wearing a fast food costume to the party. So what actually helps? Magnesium-rich foods in the evening, pumpkin seeds, almonds, leafy greens, even a small square of good dark chocolate, because magnesium genuinely supports better sleep quality and a calmer nervous system generally. Cutting caffeine off earlier than you think, like I'm talking noon probably, because Gen X collectively runs on caffeine like it's a defining personality trait, but that 2 p.m. cup might be exactly what's keeping you staring at your ceiling fan at 1 a.m., having a full imaginary argument with a coworker who doesn't even know you're mad at them yet. And 2 more, and I say this with love because I've absolutely done both. Stop eating about 3 hours before bed. Your body's trying to unwind and shut off for the night, and digesting a full meal at the exact same time, and it will pick digestion every single time, which is why you wake up at 3 a.m. feeling like there's a bowling ball sitting in your stomach and you're wondering what you did to deserve this shit now. And for the love of God, put down the goddamn phone at least an hour before bed. I know, you were just checking one thing, and that one thing somehow turns into a 45-minute of doom scrolling that ends with you rage reading comments on a post you have zero personal stake in from a stranger you will never meet about a topic you didn't even give a shit about 10 minutes ago. That blue light and spike of stimulation is doing the exact opposite of what your brain needs before bed. So, if you're dealing with weight that won't budge no matter what you try, blood pressure that's suddenly become a recurring topic of conversation with your doctor, and sleep that ghosted you sometime in your 40s and never sent a forwarding address, you're not broken. You're not doing it wrong, and you are absolutely not alone. Pick one thing from today: more protein at breakfast, more potassium-rich food, an earlier last meal, or putting down the damn phone before bed, and just start there. You don't need to fix all 3 overnight. And obviously, if your blood pressure or anything else genuinely has you concerned, get it checked out by your actual doctor, not me, and definitely not by a 1 a.m. Google, who will absolutely convince you it's something far worse than it is. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more No BS nutrition advice, and I'll see you in the next one.